Very good morning, Anna. Thanks for tuning in to the breakfast news on Rajya Sabha television. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. Well, it is International Yoga Day today, and the whole world this morning rolled out a yoga match to celebrate good health on the 4th International Day of Yoga. We'll keep getting you all the updates on that big story and much more in this bulletin. Let us start with the headlines. Yoga among most powerful unifying forces globally, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at an event in Dehradun to mark 4th International Yoga Day. Says India's gift to humankind has shown the world the way from illness to wellness. President to lead Yoga Day celebrations in Suriname at event in Mumbai. Vice President calls for introducing yoga as part of school curriculum. Several union ministers participating in nearly 5,000 events being held across the country to mark the day today. Smart Cities Awards 2018 announced. Surat awarded for showing great momentum in implementing projects. Bhopal and Ahmedabad recognized in Innovative Idea category. US President signs executive order to change a controversial policy on family separation, reverses course amid international fury over separation of undocumented parents and children. And Spain beat a fearless Iran 1-0 in an absorbing contest on day 7 of the FIFA World Cup. Uruguay beat Saudi Arabia. Portugal win over Morocco. First up, all the updates on the 4th International Yoga Day that is being celebrated today. Well, International Yoga Day is being marked today to raise awareness about the many benefits of practicing yoga, and the main function was held in Dehradun at the lawns of the Forest Research Institute, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the celebrations. The Prime Minister was joined by thousands of volunteers in performing yogasanas. Greeting yoga enthusiasts across the world, the Prime Minister said that yoga is one of the most precious gifts given by the ancient Indian sages to humankind. He said it is the most powerful unifying force globally. The Prime Minister also said that it is the key from illness to wellness and that the world has now come to recognize its power. It was at the behest of Prime Minister Narendra Modi that the United Nations had announced 21st of June, that is today, as International Yoga Day in 2014.
जहां-जहां उगते सूरज के साथ जैसे-जैसे सूरज अपनी यात्रा करेगा, सूरज की किरणें पहुंच रही हैं, प्रकाश का विस्तार हो रहा है। दुनिया के हर उस भूभाग में वहां लोग योग से सूर्य का स्वागत कर रहे हैं। देहरादून से लेकर के डबलिन तक, संघाई से लेकर के शिकागो तक, जकार्ता से लेकर के जोहानिसबर्ग तक योग ही योग, योग ही योग है। हम हिंदुस्तान के लोगों के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा संदेश है कि हम उस महान विरासत के धनी हैं। हम उन महान परंपरा की विरासत को संजोए हुए हैं। अगर हम अपनी विरासत पर गर्व करना शुरू करें, जो काल बाह्य है उसे छोड़ दें, और वो टिकता भी नहीं है, लेकिन जो समय के अनुकूल है, जो भविष्य के निर्माण में उपकारक है, ऐसी हमारी महान विरासत को अगर हम गर्व करेंगे तो दुनिया गर्व करने में कभी भी हिचकिचाहट नहीं अनुभवेगी। जैसे हिंदुस्तान ने फिर से एक बार योग के सामर्थ्य के साथ अपने आप को जोड़ दिया, दुनिया आप जुड़ने लग गई। योग आज दुनिया की सबसे पावरफुल यूनिफाइंग फोर्स में से एक बन गया। मैं विश्वास के साथ कह सकता हूं कि यदि आज पूरी दुनिया में योग करने वालों के आंकड़े जुटाए जाएं, तो हो सकता है एक अद्भुत तथ्य विश्व के सामने उभर करके आएगा। दिस कैन बी द एंड्यूरिंग इम्पैक्ट ऑफ दिस डे। साथियों, योग ने दुनिया को इलनेस से वेलनेस का रास्ता दिखाया। यही वजह है कि दुनिया भर में योग की स्वीकार्यता इतनी तेजी से बढ़ रही है। यदि हम आसन और प्राणायाम का नियमित अभ्यास करते हैं, तो हम अच्छे स्वास्थ्य के साथ साथ अनेक रोगों से अपना बचाव भी कर सकते हैं।
And President Ramnath Kovind, who is in Suriname, will be marking Yoga Day along with the President of Suriname. Now, this will be for the first time since 2015 that the two heads of states would be celebrating yoga together. President Kovind said that this will indeed be a historic occasion. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu led Yoga Day celebrations in Mumbai a short while back. He is the chief guest at the celebrations being held at the Bandra Reclamation Sea Link Promenade. Now, Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis, is also attending the event, which is being organized by a voluntary organization from Mumbai. And theme for this year is Yoga for Peace.
Yoga should become part and parcel of our daily routine to combat modern-day health problems, both physical and mental. There is also a misconception that yoga is only a sort of physical exercise meant to help fitness of an individual. Nothing could be further than this. It is a holistic system wherein the mind and body acts in unison and gets completely regenerated. Yoga has nothing to do with religion. Some people, unfortunately, because of not having proper understanding, attribute religious overtones to the ancient scientific system. I am very happy many religious gurus today of different communities, they have come out openly and said this is wrong to connect yoga with any particular religion. Religion is a way of worship. This is connecting the body and mind, correcting our own self and preparing our own self. The time has come to introduce yoga, I feel, as part of the school syllabus. State governments and central government must focus their attention on this important aspect so that India becomes a nation of healthy and happy people in the coming years. A healthy nation can become a wealthy nation.
And several union ministers will also join the celebrations in different parts of the country. Union Minister Rajnath Singh will participate at an event in Lucknow, Nitin Gadkari in Nagpur, Ravi Shankar Prasad in Patna, Piyush Goyal in Noida, Anant Kumar in Bangalore and Colonel Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore in Jaipur. Union Minister Maneka Gandhi will participate in a yoga session to be organized for pregnant women in the national capital, while Union Minister Harshvardhan will join the event at the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Park. Now, as many as 5,000 yoga-related events will be held across the country today. Besides, celebrations will also take place in more than 150 countries, with Indian missions coordinating activities in landmark places. And Yoga Day celebrations are also being held in Delhi. That is being organized by the New Delhi Municipal Council. At least 18,000 yoga enthusiasts are participating to mark the 4th International Yoga Day at Rajpath. And Delhi Lieutenant Governor Anil Baijal and Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal are attending the event. Besides, around 50,000 yoga enthusiasts, including women personnel from various central armed police forces such as BSF, CRPF, CISF, are participating in the event being organized at the Red Fort. And on to some other news. Prime Minister's Award for Outstanding Contribution for Promotion and Development of Yoga 2018 was announced on Wednesday. Vishwas Vasant Mandalika from Nasik and the Yoga Institute in Mumbai are among the recipients of the award. The selection was done from among 186 nominations received under different categories. The winners would be felicitated with a trophy, certificate and a cash award each. And the value of each cash award is 25 lakh rupees. The award for 2017 was won by Ramamani Iyengar Memorial Yoga Institute in Pune. And a massive event to mark International Yoga Day was held in Kota in Rajasthan, and Yoga Guru Ramdev led the celebrations along with the Rajasthan Chief Minister Vasundhara Raje. And today is the last day of the 3-day yoga camp organized by Baba Ramdev in the run up to the International Yoga Day.
और दोनों हाथों की उंगलियों को इंटरलॉक कीजिए, दोनों हाथ सिर के ऊपर रख लीजिए, दोनों हाथ सिर के ऊपर। अब श्वास अंदर भर करके हाथ ऊपर उठेंगे। ये अभ्यास आपको
And as the world celebrates the 4th International Yoga Day today, here is the story of a 99-year-old woman who can beat people much younger than her in terms of fitness, all due to her strict and regular yoga regime since her childhood. Take a look at this special report.
Meet 99 years old V. Nanammal. According to her age, she qualifies as a senior citizen. But in fitness, she can easily beat people much younger than her age. The secret behind her fitness and agility, even at this age, is yoga. A Padma Shri awardee, Nanammal has never stepped into hospital or taken medicines, but has always followed a strict yoga regime ever since she was 3 years old. Today, she is an acclaimed yoga teacher who can perform over 50 yoga asanas with perfection. Her daily routine starts at 5 a.m. every day, and she practices yoga from 6 to 7 in the morning. Then she visits various places where she teaches yoga. She also travels across the country to spread awareness about yoga.
நான் சாமி எங்கள் தாத்தா பாட்டி எல்லாம் தோட்டத்திலிருந்து வருவாங்க, அண்டாவில் தண்ணி கலந்து கிட குளிப்பாங்க, குளிச்சுட்டு பாய் எடுத்து விரிப்பாங்க. நான் கூடவே 3 வருஷம் 2 வருஷம் குழந்தைகள் முடிச்சு அவங்க கூடவே பழகுனேன். இன்னைக்கு புதுசாக பழகுன சாமி, எனக்கு அதே தான் காலமெல்லாம் செய்கிறேன், செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறேன். கடவுள் உன்னியத்தில் நல்ல எல்லாம் செய்கிறேன் சாமி. நீ என்ன?
Nanammal has trained lakhs of people at home, schools and various institutions. Many of her proteges have become yoga teachers themselves in India and abroad.
நாங்கெல்லாம் கோழி கூப்பிட எந்திரிப்போம், எந்திரிச்சு பாத்ரூம் போயிட்டு வருவோம், யோகா செய்வோம். அதுதான் சாமி எங்கள் பழக்கம். உப்பு இந்த குழந்தைங்க 8 மணி வரைக்கும் தூங்குறாங்க, முடிக்கிறாங்க. அந்த குழந்தைகளை நாம தான் சாமி தயார் செய்யணும்.
Hailing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's initiative to launch International Yoga Day 4 years back, Nanammal says that India needs to maintain the momentum. For her contribution, Nanammal was awarded the Padma Shri earlier this year. In 2016, she was awarded the Nari Shakti Award by the President. Panchanan Mishra's report from Coimbatore for Rajya Sabha TV.
That was our special segment on International Yoga Day today, and with that we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news on the other side. Stay tuned.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. On to some other news now. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has announced the awards under Smart Cities Mission, and Surat has been selected for the Best City Award for showing great momentum in implementation of projects, especially in the categories of urban environment and transport and mobility. Bhopal and Ahmedabad have been selected for the Innovative Idea Award for their transformative approach towards sustainable integrated development. 7 more awards are being given under the Projects Award category to the most innovative and successful projects done by cities under the Smart Cities mission. Meanwhile, Shillong was declared as the 100th Smart City of India, completing the 100 Smart Cities mission launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2015. News from Jammu and Kashmir, where the state was brought under governor's rule and the state assembly put under suspended animation on Wednesday. After assuming charge, Governor N.N. Vora held meetings with the top civil administration and police officers at the civil secretariat in Srinagar. He also held discussions with the Chief Secretary B.B. Vyas and identified the major tasks that are required to be dealt with on a strict time-bound basis. Security measures were also discussed during the meeting. Army Chief General Bipin Rawat has said that the ongoing military operations in the valley against terrorists would continue as earlier.
ऑपरेशन तो पहले भी चल रहे थे, फिर बीच में हमने एक सस्पेंशन ऑफ ऑपरेशन का दौर देखा, क्योंकि हम चाहते थे कि जो वहाँ की आवाम थी रमज़ान के महीने में उन्हें सही तरीके से नमाज अदा करने का उन्हें मौका मिले, उन्हें किस तरह की तकलीफ़ ना हो। लेकिन इसके बावजूद हमने देखा कि जो आतंकवादी थे उन्होंने अपनी कार्रवाई जारी रखी, तो उसी कारण से फिर सस्पेंशन ऑफ ऑपरेशंस को ख़त्म कर दिया गया और हम दोबारा से ऑपरेशन करने शुरू करेंगे। कार्रवाई हमारी जैसे पहले हो रही थी उसी तरीके से चलते रहे।
And hours after the imposition of governor's rule in Jammu and Kashmir on Wednesday, Home Minister Rajnath Singh asserted that the centre wants terrorism to end and peace to prevail in the state.
लक्ष्य एक ही है कि आतंकवाद समाप्त होना चाहिए और कश्मीर में शांति व्यवस्था कायम होनी चाहिए और इसी लक्ष्य को सामने रखकर हमारी सरकार काम करेगी।
Big story from Maharashtra. The Economic Offences Wing of Pune Police on Wednesday arrested 6 people of the Bank of Maharashtra in a cheating case lodged against city-based real estate developer D.S. Kulkarni and his wife. Now, MD and CEO of the bank, Ravindra Marathe, along with the Chief Executive Director, R.K. Gupta, in the 3,000 crore rupees DSK group loan default case. Sushi Munhot, the former CMD of the bank, was also taken from Jaipur in connection with the loan default. Well, according to allegations made by the Pune EOW, the arrested officials did not stick to the RBI guidelines and did not verify if the loan amount was being used only for the project for which it had been sought. All persons arrested have been booked for cheating, forgery, criminal conspiracy, criminal breach of trust, among others. Pune-based builder D.S. Kulkarni and his wife, who were arrested in February this year, are accused of cheating over 4,000 investors of 1,154 crore rupees and diverting the bank loan worth 2,892 crore rupees. South Korean President Moon Jae-in will visit India on 9th of July this year to have the first summit-level talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And ahead of his visit, a team of South Korean Foreign Ministry officials are in New Delhi to brief the Indian side on the present situation in the Korean Peninsula after the Kim-Trump meeting in Singapore earlier.
The South Korean delegation, headed by its Deputy Foreign Minister Enna Park, interacted with the think tank in Delhi on Wednesday. The delegation will meet Indian Foreign Ministry officials on Thursday to brief them about the outcomes of interaction with North Korean leadership. While the South Korean Deputy Foreign Minister said that they want to take the relations between both nations to the next level, its ambassador said India can play an important role in bringing peace to the Korean Peninsula.
Moon's administration, focusing on India's international prestige and infinite potential of growth, declared the groundbreaking new Southern policy to extensively strengthen cooperation with its Southern partners, especially with India. We would like to build a community for peace which contribute to peace in Asia through security cooperation.
has an experience in becoming a nuclear power. And you see, I think that a country like North Korea has a nuclear capacity with such an economic burden and with starving people. It's not good. Huh? So I hope that India could persuade them and also putting pressure on them.
Experts say the initiative from South Korea to upgrade relations with India is a welcome step from Indian perspective, as India expects South Korea to support its entry into APEC, a major economic forum of Asia-Pacific countries.
In this context, I think I'll raise one important point, which is the United Nations Security Council reforms. Foreign policy, because Moon Jae-in's foreign policy is really talking about peace and prosperity in the regions. And there are no better representation can be from Asia if India and South Korea can have a convergence on the issue, particularly on the United Nations Security Council permanent membership issue.
Products from Korean appliance makers like Samsung and LG are household names in India. Korea has been interested in investing in the shipbuilding industry, and the recent visit of Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari to Korean capital has raised hopes about both nations collaborating on various issues and playing a larger role in the Indo-Pacific region.
Since peace is expected in Korean Peninsula after South and North Koreans started talking, many major players have to act, and India is one of them. Since India also has an ambition in Asia-Pacific region, it will be interesting and important that India-South Korea can cooperate beyond the bilateral tones. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Dilip in Delhi.
And US President Donald Trump today signed an executive order to end the separation of immigrant families on the US-Mexico border. Donald Trump signed the executive order following widespread protests against his administration's decision to separate children from their parents who illegally enter the country. Now, he has stated that the families will be brought together while keeping a very powerful border and zero tolerance for people that enter America illegally. In recent weeks, more than 2,000 children have been separated from their parents under Donald Trump's zero tolerance policy.
We're signing an executive order. I consider to be a very important executive order. It's about keeping families together, while at the same time being sure that we have a very powerful, very strong border, and border security will be equal, if not greater than previously. So we're going to have strong, very strong borders, but we're going to keep the families together. I didn't like the sight or the feeling of families being separated. Continues to be a zero tolerance. We have zero tolerance for people that enter our country illegally.
And now all the action from the Football World Cup in Russia. Well, on day 7 of the FIFA World Cup 2018, European champions Portugal took a 1-0 win against Morocco in the first match of the day. A fourth-minute header by Cristiano Ronaldo off a corner kick pushed Portugal to an early 1-0 lead. And despite a commendable performance by Morocco in the second half of the match, they were unable to produce a tying goal. Portugal are now in a strong position to qualify for the round of 16 with 4 points in their group. And after 2 defeats, Morocco is set to make an early exit. Meanwhile, in Group A, Uruguay produced a 1-0 win against Saudi Arabia. And unmarked Luis Suarez tapped in midway through the first half after keeper failed to grab the ball on the corner. And the goal put Uruguay second in Group A with a maximum 6 points behind host Russia. Uruguay's victory over Saudi Arabia means that both Russia and Uruguay have qualified from Group A for the last 16. And Saudi Arabia, who have not won a World Cup game since their debut in 1994, have 0 points, just like Egypt, who lost 3-1 to Russia on Tuesday. And in the second Group B match of the day yesterday, Spain beat the determined Iranian side 1-0. Diego Costa claimed his third goal of the tournament in the 54th minute after the ball deflected off his legs from an attempted clearance by Iranian defender Ramin. And after that, Saeed Estahoulahi managed to find the net for Iran, but it was ruled out as offside. Now, Spain joins the top of its group with Portugal on 4 points, with the Iran close behind on 3 points. And on day 8 of the FIFA World Cup today, well, 3 matches are scheduled for the day today. The opening match of the day will see Denmark face off against Australia in Group C at 5:30 p.m. India time. And the second Group C match will set France against Peru. And in the third match of the day, Argentina will play against Croatia. Well, to get more updates and a perspective on yesterday's matches, let's go across to Jyoti and Brunette, former national football player, joining us in the studio right now. A very good morning, Ms. Brunette, and thanks so much for joining us this morning. Speaking about yesterday's matches, of course, one magic Ronaldo moment was all that Portugal needed yesterday versus Morocco. You know, that 4th-minute header, ensuring a 1-0 victory for Portugal.
I think Morocco put up a very brave fight, and Portugal were lucky to hold on to that 4-minute goal from Ronaldo, but they struggled, and at the end of the day, Morocco failed to capitalize on the chances they got, and that was the difference between the two sides.
And speaking about the Uruguay versus Saudi match, well, Uruguay's slender victory over Saudi Arabia, ensuring that they actually and host nation Russia have now qualified for the last 16 of the World Cup?
Yes, they're through to the knockout stages, but yet again an under-par performance by the South American side. One would expect more from them. It was a dull game, but at the end of the day, a win is a win, and Suarez's goal was enough to take them through to the knockout stages.
And this match was his 100th international appearance as well. And speaking about the third match, Spain versus Iran, of course, beating Iran 1-0. That was again a very hard-fought match because Iran, I thought the Iran showed that they are difficult to beat. Holding Spain off for 54 minutes, that was quite a bit.
It was a frustrating game for Spain. Iran was playing very defensively. And I think Diego Costa got lucky with his goal. But at the end of the day, you know, Spain were a quality side. They did make a lot of attacks. But Iran seemed to have parked the bus yesterday, and it made it very difficult for Spain.
Absolutely. And speaking about today's matches, there are 3 matches slated for the day. Just one line for each. Who do you think is going to win in Denmark versus Australia? Because Denmark are eyeing their second win of the World Cup.
Yes, Denmark will be higher off that last victory, whereas Australia did play very well in their first game but were unlucky. They also have a record of 11, you know, they haven't been able to keep a clean sheet for the past 11 international games, and it's going to be tough against a Denmark side led by Tottenham man Eriksen.
Absolutely, and France, however, can secure their spot in the World Cup last 16 because they are going to take on Peru today.
Yeah, France will be looking to impress. They are a quality side, but Peru are a very gritty side. And they are, you know, they're on this stage to prove themselves. So that's going to be a very tough game.
Absolutely, and I think like France, Argentina will also need to find that extra gear really to get past Croatia, which is going to be the third match of the day. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us and sharing your perspective and your views on the yesterday's matches as well as today's matches that are slated for the day. Thank you so much. And well, with that, we come to an end of this edition of Breakfast News. But news and updates continue on your channel. Thanks so much for watching.